Thank you, Professor Celia Abakul, for giving me this opportunity to present my introduction to business development project for this year, which is the launch of holographic tea, which I have holographic teaching, which I have made a short form of it for better brand recognition, which is called Holo Tea. The tagline that I have chosen for the same is redefining in-person education. As a part of the presentation, I will take you through an executive summary, which will give you a brief overview about every aspect of the presentation that we'll be covering in the next 10 minutes, followed by a brief understanding of our product, what are we trying to sell. This will be followed by a brief overview about the technology we'll be using about our product. I would then follow up with talking about our company, Next Generation Teaching Technologies Private Limited, followed by an introduction and a compress and a concise overview about the product once again to give you a better understanding as to what exactly our product is. I'll then be talking about our target market and the rationale behind choosing this set target market. I would also be talking about the market entry strategy that we would be using to enter into this market, the pricing strategy, and the promotional and marketing strategy as well. And finally, I would be introducing you to the team behind this whole product who would be spearheading our operations in our first and second year of since our inception. Moving on, talking about the executive summary, the year 2020 with the COVID-19 pandemic has been a year that has redefined the way many businesses are going to be run for the near or distant future. One of the industries that have been affected badly by this is the education industry, and it has been and due to this pandemic, in-person class teaching was brought to a complete standstill almost immediately. This is where we saw potential, and this is where we thought it'd be best for us to make our market entry when it comes to holographic tea. And we thought our revolutionary product uh, would change the way in-person education is conducted across the world, especially in educational institutes. This would redefine the way students and teachers teach in today's day and age. The first part of the presentation is going to be talking about our product to give a reader a better understanding about the product. The second part would be talking about the market entry strategy that we have chosen, followed by the pricing and promotional strategies that we have chosen. And finally, we'll be talking about the marketing strategies that we'll be using to promote the product in the chosen market. Moving on, I'll be showing you a brief video about a keynote presentation that was given by some person at a public event talking about holography and the developments that it has made in today's day and age. I hope the presentation gave you a brief idea about the technology we're talking about. It was so beautiful to see our keynote presenter in the video making a real life redemption of herself, speaking a language that she does not speak. But we are not going to complicate things that much. It's just going to be a 6D redemption of our professor that will be portrayed in front of the classroom so as to ensure that our students get a more in-person virtual reality training session when they sit for classes. So when I say 6D, a normal telephone, a phone that we see right now in front of us, that is 2D. It is only two dimensionals that we can see, that is the front and the back. When you're talking about a cup, that is 3D because you can see it's circular and it has one dimension which is top, one dimension is side, and one dimension up and down. So that is 3D. But when you're talking about 6D, it's the same way that the human eye sees another human being, which is 6 dimensionals, which is the various axes in our body, and that's what exactly sixth dimension is. So through our product, we'll be making a 6D redemption of our professors in front of our classroom, which has a minimum amount of students sitting in it to maintain social distancing. And this will be spread across classrooms and across the whole university. And that's the whole idea of our product. Moving on, I'll be talking about our company, which is Next Generation Virtual Private Limited. The Next Generation Virtual Private Technologies is a new age, society-centric technology company. The company's line of business would be to innovate next generation technology that would benefit society. The headquarters would be in Kitchener, Ontario. Our startup investment would be of $5 million. The year of inception, as you know, it's the year that redefined the way many businesses work. So we chose 2020 to start something new and something good that would change the way humanity functions. The number of initial employees would be 30 employees. And the timeline of the launch of our first product would be winter 2020, which will be Holo T, which is holographic teaching. And our expected revenue after 5 years would be $60 million. Moving on, our value and mission of Next Generations Technologies Private Limited. Our vision would be adapting next generation technology in our new reality. Our mission would be to find new ways to make interpersonal communication safe in our new reality. Moving on, I just put a small SWOT analysis of the company across so that we understand where we stand. Talking about our strengths, the amalgamation of new age technology into our day-to-day lives is something that would definitely be our strength. Is because with the introduction of technology in day-to-day life, a lot of things have been made easier through the ages, and that's the reason why we are using new age technology to make our life easier and safer today. The portability of the devices that you can take anywhere. This device will be so small. I mean, it will be as small as a Google Echo Dot, and our students can take it anywhere they go. If they want a private session or a private teaching session with their teachers that are pre-recorded, and if they do not want to come to the classrooms, they can carry that product anywhere, wherever they want to go. Our weaknesses would be acceptance of this product might be a challenge in the introduction phase, and the price currently, because we do not have anything backing the cost apart from the fact that we are planning to change the way in speaking education is. We do not have any case studies to back our cause. Opportunities. COVID-19 has changed the way, as you know, teaching has been conducted across the world. The number of students pursuing international education is only rising. These are two opportunities that we see when you're entering the market. The threats that the technology space is rapidly changing on a daily basis. Idea might be copied by other technology companies, Chinese-made competing products. Now, when I talk about Chinese-made competing products, I'm not talking about there are existing products in the market. I'm talking about the fact that China and its engineering department can use our technology as they have been doing in the past and reverse engineering it to provide cheaper variants than what we provide currently. So that would be a major threat for us. An introduction into HoloT. This is, as I told you, this is what our product looks like. On your left-hand side, it's just an artistic redemption of our product, so as to give you a better understanding of what it would look like. The major USP of our product, or the major tagline that we're using of our product, is a device built with a purpose to eliminate social distancing norms while not compromising on health and wellness of our education community. Moving on, while we initially look at launching our product, the new age product in school, colleges, and universities, we would subsequently look at launching our products in a more portable variant so that our students can take this tuition material, take this product home and use it for future references if they do not remember what was being taught in class, or to just see pre-recorded sessions, informative videos, and things like that. Each individual classroom Moving on to how the university and the colleges would be designed, and this would be designed to take our product into consideration. There would be no structural changes that would be needed to make. We would just need a classroom to set up our installation. Each individual classroom would have to be equipped with our device, while our teacher teaches in a specialized studio that will be loaded with cameras that would help in creating the projection, which would be shown across all the classrooms simultaneously. Now, when I say across all the classrooms simultaneously, as I said earlier, our classrooms need to be fitted with majorly 15 to 20, maximum 15 to 20 students to ensure social distancing norms, whereas a classroom initially would be packed with about 60 to 100 students. So that's the reason why 3 classrooms can be taught simultaneously by one professor and talking about the same subject, and maybe in different languages as well, as we saw in the video. HoloT would create a 6D projection of the teacher in front of the classroom that would replicate the way a real teacher would teach in the class. As you saw in the product and the holographic I just on the video and the holographic redemption that was made in the video, it would be a lifelike redemption of the teacher. The portable device would look more or less like an Amazon Echo Dot or a Google Home, as you can see on the left-hand side of the screen. While we propose naming the first device HoloT, where T stands for teach, the subsequent devices would be named as HoloTuition, which would be given for private tuition classes, that if a student needs some extra help, if they want to pursue another subject over and apart their syllabus in class, or they want to learn something new, holographic tuition is something that they can use. Holographic therapy, as you know, mental health has been taken really seriously in today's day and age, as it should have been taken since a long time back. And we can use the holographic therapy device for a student to have 24/7 access to their therapist, and to also feel and to also talk about, have an interpersonal connection with their therapist as well. And Holo Talk respectively, where we can redefine and revolutionize the way meetings are conducted across the world. Like, I think gone are the days where people just want to look at a screen and sit for a meeting while looking at their colleagues through a screen. Moving on, I'm going to be talking about our competitive advantages of our product. It's a one-time investment. The build quality of our product is going to be of such high level that once the product is bought, and because of the after-sales services that we provide, it will be a one-time investment for colleges. It will be low-cost after-sales service, is because of our installation that will be foolproof, and the 24/7 availability of engineers, global world-class engineers available to take care of any problems that arise at no cost at all. A quick turnaround time from installation to actual use and adoption of new reality when it comes to education. And trained specialists at your disposal. You would have trained specialists, the engineers, the technicians, the software specialists, always at one call away. Moving on to rationale before choosing our country, Canada. The first thing I would like to talk about is there are 2.2 million students studying at Canadian universities and colleges as of 2019. There were about 190,000 full-time and 226,000 part-time students in 2019. Between March 2009 and March 2019, 17,94,500 new jobs were created for university graduates, twice as many as those created for graduates in all other types of postgraduate education combined. There are 1.8 million new jobs that are being created to take care of the Canadian education system. As a $38 billion enterprise in direct expenditures, universities and colleges are significant drivers of economic prosperity. They provide employment for close to 310,000 people currently, and Canada is looking at expanding this industry immensely in the next couple of years to increase the number of employment to about 1.8 million people across the country. So this is where the potential lies. Canada is number 3 after USA and Australia when it comes to the number of international students choosing the country for their further studies. So Canada has immense potential in the education industry, especially in the education industry. And this is the industry that we're trying to revolutionize because of COVID and because of the restrictions that are in place. So all students can enjoy their college life technically. Moving on, I'll be talking about our market entry strategy. Our company would be a startup based in Canada, where all our products would be designed. We would be outsourcing our manufacturing to a low labor cost country like India. We would be taking delivery of the product in India itself. The product would then be exported back to Canada using our own sales and marketing channels. The reason for choosing choosing India is that the country has a large pool of skilled labor and growing and proving its mettle as a manufacturing hub of the world through its globally recognized Make in India campaign that is being spearheaded by the current government. As you know, India is becoming the new digital hub of the world. Companies like Samsung, Apple, previously it was Nokia, Microsoft has a massive manufacturing plant in India. BlackBerry, which is a Canadian company, as a matter of fact, also had a manufacturing plant in India. India has a pool of talent that is now being tapped and being recognized by the world as the next electronic manufacturing hub of the world. The Make in India campaign grants massive concessions for anyone who decides to manufacture in India. The government of India is spearheading the Make in India campaign. Moving on, the second part of our market entry strategy is a reason for using the set strategy would be that the potential profits are much higher as we are eliminating intermediaries. We would have a much greater degree of control when it comes to all transactions because we are buying and selling directly from the manufacturer. Standardization and strict quality control, which would otherwise be compromised if we have to outsource our distribution to a third party. We would have a direct touch with the client when it comes to the quality of our product, availability of faster and more efficient feedback because we are the ones who would be supplying the products finally to the market and we are not relying on any intermediaries to do that. So we would have faster and more efficient feedback. Patents, trademarks, and copyrights are protected in a much better manner when it comes to choosing this kind of for market entry strategy. Now, by saying this, I'm again tying it back to the Chinese made products that could look at being competition to us in the future due to their reverse engineering technologies. Moving on, I'll be talking about the pricing strategy. Our pricing strategies are going to be divided into two phases as below, which will be launch of HoloT, the new in-class new age technology, which is be a bundled pricing strategy. The reason for choosing the strategy is because while we are selling HoloT as a device, we are also selling an experience that comes with it. We would be selling the end-to-end technology that would be involved in setting up of the in-person classrooms, which would involve the projection and acoustic devices, besides also setting up the interactive teaching studios with cameras and microphones that would be used by the teachers to conduct these lectures. The second phase will be launch of holotuition, holotherapy, and holotalk. The reason for choosing this form of pricing strategy is to enable us to gain maximum profit in a short span of time, thereby enabling us to make up most of our return to investment that's being made on an immediate basis. We believe that this is a new form of technology that coincides with a new reality that we are forced into. Our customers would be more than happy to pay upfront to purchase the product. And that's the reason why we are choosing this form of pricing strategy. Advantages of choosing this form, the set strategy: first movers advantage. As you know, we are the only product manufacturers that produce this product. Secondly, a minuscule investment when it comes to what our clients, which will be called universities, are making for the benefit of our product, to gain the benefit of our product. An immediate turnaround time when it comes to from order to purchase to sales to installation to conducting classes would be a maximum of 10 days, working days, and it is definitely embracing the new normal. COVID is here to stay for a bit. In-class teaching has been suspended for another year. It is here to stay. So why not make the best of it and the most of it and work towards of the future? Talking about the prices that we'll be charging, the bundle pricing strategy, as I said, would be Canadian dollars to 20,000 for 4 individual classrooms. As I mentioned earlier, that we'd have to spread out our students across 4 individual classrooms. 240 students can benefit from these in one session or one lecture at a time, using the social distancing norms that we are using. 2-hour sessions a day and 2-hour sessions, which is the normal lecture time that we're using right now, and 4 sessions a day that can be conducted using 1 studio and 4 individual classrooms. So if we spread this across the whole college, that would be a massive value add for the college. When you're talking about holo tuition, holotherapy, and holo talk, that would be Canadian dollars $200, which would be a portable device, a charger, and a portable mount for the product. Finally, moving on to the expected financial, we'll be initially looking at targeting universities and colleges in Ontario only to check the acceptance of our product. Given that there are 21 universities, 70 colleges in Ontario, we would be looking at setting up about 8 studios in universities and 4 in colleges in the first 2 years since our inception. We would then be moving towards British Columbia and Alberta from years 3 to 5, since our team would be significantly bigger then. Both these provinces have an approximate figure of 20 universities and 36 colleges in total. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the breakup that we're planning to use for the first 5 years since our inception, so that we could test our product and comprehensively redesign our product before taking it to larger markets or even more complex markets to deal with, so that we have an end-to-end solution for any problems that come across. And as you know, it's always best to try a product in a smaller market, a province or a state or a city first, before launching it on a wider national scale, to be prepared for any problems that arise from it. Our estimated finance for the first 5 years of the production would be, we're looking at making and install and receiving about $3 million, $3 million to $4 million in the first 1 year since the inception, given that we're going to be tapping the said number of colleges that we are looking at, your colleges and universities are looking at, and then there would be a gradual increase to about $5.5 million to $6 million by 2023, where we would reach our stagnation point when it comes to the growth of the company, given that we have reached the point where we've reached and tapped out all our potential clients. And then there would be a gradual decline before we decide to launch our new products into the market, which would be holographic technology, holographic therapy, talk, and teach, tuition, which would help our graph go back up. And finally, once we get that momentum in place, where we're selling our individual products and not bundle products, we would be looking at expanding our markets to expanding our horizons to other markets like United States and Australia and the UK as well. Moving on, the promotional and marketing strategy. Finally, the communication channels that we'll be using would be public relations, where we will be talking about where we believe that would be an integral part of our communication campaign. We look at promoting our company spokesperson through one-on-one interviews and authored articles to position themselves as industry leaders when it comes to the new age gen teaching technology, which would be through one-on-one interviews, authored articles, and, as I told you, positioning themselves as pioneers in the new reality of teaching methods. Moving on, communication channels. With our communication channels, most of our universities and colleges that we'll be talking about have a massive following on social media. We'll be tying up with them to post that they are signed on with us as clients to talk about introduction about this new technology and the campaign, which would also be like a which will be beneficial for us mutually as well, because the world knows that they have adopted this new form of technology. It is safe to study at their campuses, and they are a forward-thinking university as well, and hence they would not be hesitant to show us off as they are signing on partners through their social media channels. Moving on, one of the most important part of our outreach program would be through experiential marketing and events. Our virtual tech events would be a place that we will be immensely tapping on in the coming years, because that's where many technology gurus and publications come to see what is the next big thing in technology, and they'll be looking at getting published and meeting such people and networking there. Education and tech trade shows, as I said, education is our core market, and that's where we have to be for the next 5 years at least, continuously, so as to ensure that the major universities, major educational boards, and major decision makers in the industry have a look at us and know what we are selling to them and what's the value add of our product. And obviously, experiential marketing, we look at conducting experiential marketing workshops at Canadian educational institutions, at universities as well, so that students and the teachers and the decision makers of the said college get a look and feel of our product firsthand. Finally, I would like to introduce you to our team. As you can see on the left-hand side, that is me, which I would be the Chief Executive Officer of the company and the Head of Technology. I have Natasha Muchala, who is currently studying in Conestoga College in marketing, is pursuing a marketing and sales course in Conestoga College. She would be our Chief Marketing and Sales Officer, and followed by Anushka Pawar, who has a graduate degree in economics and finance back home from India. She would be our Chief Financial Officer and the Head of Talent Acquisition. Moving on, I'm going to be defining each person's role individually so as to you understanding what exactly each of us would be doing. I would be the lead of the organization. I would be the decision maker of the organization. What exactly are the changes that need to be made? Who are the agencies that need to be hired to help us out? What would be our production cycle like? The number of units that we'll be producing a quarter and things like that. I would be the new development expert, and I would be leading the team for the I would be leading the business development team as well. I would also be the new business and investor relations expert. And I would also be in charge of product testing and technology development. So I would be like the first point of contact when it comes to our manufacturers and our team of technicians to understand where our product is glitching and what are the better ways to take it forward. Moving on, I'll be defining Natasha's role. Natasha would be our marketing expert and dealing with the agencies that we sign on to get our outbound communication in place. She would lead the customer service team as well. She would also be our quality check coordinator when it talks to our customer service team and our marketing teams, our agencies that we hire as well, to understand that they are aligned with what our expectations are and what is the content that we want going on from the company. And she would also be the head of content generation and integration as well. So whatever content is being uploaded into our servers when it comes to our product and whatever is being taught as well, if there is any requirement for any integration with our product, a special integration that is made by the university or the college we're talking about, Natasha would be looking at it that as well. And finally, what Anushka would be looking at would be annual budgeting. Where do we need to invest what? Talking about our taxation reports as well. She would also be investor coordination and closing. Once an investor has shown keen interest, Anushka would be taking them through the finances and how the financial health of the company technically, and she would close the deal with them. And she would also be looking at our talent acquisition and training team, which is basically HR, and she would also be looking at the quality of training that is being provided to our employees as well. Thank you. And I sincerely hope you liked our product.